What actually happens when a late-stage divorce completely wrecks your retirement plans? We are going to break down a real-world case study of a 50-year-old who's having to rebuild pretty much from scratch. And they are facing one massive question right now. Do I max out my 401k to catch up, or do I finally kill off a decades-old student debt?
We're kicking things off with this incredibly raw warning directly from our source. For their entire marriage, they just deferred to their spouse to handle the money. Now, suddenly solo, and they describe themselves as doing an absolute speed run on financial literacy. It's a really honest admission about the extreme danger of passively outsourcing your financial future. And frankly, it perfectly sets the stage for the massive crossroads they're at right now.
Part 1. Starting over at 50. The impact of a late-stage divorce. So, picture this. You're 50 years old. You've left the finances entirely to your ex for years, and now your retirement accounts are just completely decimated from the settlement. I mean, that is a terrifying place to be when you're only a decade or two away from traditional retirement age. And to make matters even worse, they proactively went to a financial planner for help, but sat across the desk from someone who clearly cared way more about selling investment products for short-term commissions than genuinely strategizing a recovery. So they walked away feeling like they just couldn't trust the advice. They need objective, mathematical truth, which is exactly what we're going to map out for them today.
Part 2. The financial starting line. Taking inventory of the safety net.
Now, despite feeling totally behind and overwhelmed, a quick inventory of their situation reveals an incredibly solid foundation. They've actually got 4 to 6 months of living expenses sitting safely in a high-yield savings account. That is huge. An unexpected car repair is not going to derail them. Speaking of cars, they have absolutely zero consumer or auto debt. None. They're also already contributing 6% to their 401k to capture their full employer match. Over on the liability side, they have a really reasonable mortgage, just $175,000 left, and it'll be completely paid off in about 10 years, right around age 60. The only real outlier here is a $32,000 student loan balance. So yeah, their retirement investments took a massive hit, but their day-to-day financial health, it's surprisingly secure.
Part 3. The $1,500 dilemma. Allocating the monthly surplus.
$1,500. That is the exact amount of surplus cash they have left over every single month. And that's after all their living expenses, minimum debt payments, and that 6% 401k contribution are totally accounted for. Having an extra $1,500 a month is a fantastic wealth-building tool, but having it forces a really tough choice. So here's the ultimate personal finance tug-of-war. Do they aggressively push those funds into the 401k to rebuild those decimated investments as fast as possible before retirement? Or do they take that money and just aggressively kill off the remaining student loan debt so they're completely debt-free outside of the mortgage? Part 4. Math versus emotion. The burden of a 20-year-old loan.
During their financial literacy speedrun, they stumbled onto what's often called the financial order of operations. Basically, it's a widely referenced, prioritized checklist to help you balance paying off debt while simultaneously growing your investments. Usually, these frameworks tell you to pay off high-interest, toxic debt first, get your employer match, and then weigh moderate interest debt against expected market returns. And they are trying their absolute best to follow this standard framework. But at age 50, the time horizon is a bit shorter. They are stuck weighing the compound mathematical growth of investing against the heavy, frankly exhausting emotional toll of carrying old debt.
Let's look at the exact details. We've got a $32,000 student loan sitting at a 4.75% interest rate. Now, mathematically speaking, sure, investing that $1,500 in a broad market index fund inside a 401k might give you a 7 to 9% average annual return. That easily beats 4.75%. A spreadsheet would literally scream at you, invest it. But spreadsheets don't have to deal with the psychological baggage of an ex-spouse who only paid the absolute bare minimums on this exact loan for 20 years. Imagine that. Every single time our subject makes a payment, they are literally carrying the financial negligence of their past marriage. That alone makes the guaranteed 4.75% return of simply wiping out that student loan highly, highly tempting. Because at this point, it's not just about the math, it's about erasing the past.
Part 5. The ultimate takeaway, a lesson in financial autonomy.
Rebuilding always requires balancing mathematical logic with emotional relief. And the truth is, there is no objectively wrong answer here. If they throw that $1,500 at the debt, they lock in a guaranteed 4.75% return and free up incredible emotional bandwidth in roughly 2 years. If they max out the 401k instead, they'll likely have a higher net worth by age 65. The right choice depends entirely on their personal comfort level. But listen, here is the real victory, the thing we absolutely shouldn't overlook. They are the ones making the choice now. They are doing the math, they're questioning the commission salesperson. After years of outsourcing it, they are finally taking ownership of their financial literacy. So, looking at this 50-year-old stressful but incredibly inspiring journey to rebuild, it leaves us with one pretty critical question to ask ourselves. Are you taking ownership of your finances right now, or are you passively relying on someone else to manage your future? Let this explainer be the wake-up call you need.